A 10-year-old boy who was one of the youngest people ever to receive an ASBO before he became a teenage gang boss has been jailed following a revenge attack where he was stabbed 27 times with a machete. Alfie Hodgin, who's 18, was jailed yesterday after being caught with more than £2,000 of heroin and crack cocaine while slumped on the floor, covered in blood. The teenager from Merseyside was working for an organised crime group in a bid to pay off a debt, but he instead stole the gang's phone and drugs as he attempted to run his own operation. Liverpool Crown Court heard how a gang of 4 machete-wielding men left Hodgin lying on the street in Ellesmere Port town centre on July the 14th with 27 stab wounds. Reports at the time heard a dozen of police cars responding to the incident, which saw the attackers jump out of a grey SUV. He spent 2 weeks in hospital due to the severity of his injuries, having been rescued by an air ambulance. The prosecutor told the court that Hodgin had clearly been subjected to a serious assault with weapons thought to be machetes, but he would be arrested by officers who found him in possession of about £1,000 worth of heroin and just over £1,000 of crack cocaine and a graph phone. Hodgin admitted possession of heroin and crack cocaine with intent to supply and being concerned in the supply of the drugs as he was sentenced to 2.5 years. So his life of crime began back in December 2014 when he was handed an ASBO at Wirral Magistrates Court after terrorising the community. The 2-year order banned him from causing harassment, alarm or distress to members of the public and prevented the schoolboy from associating with groups of friends in public. The banning order failed to prevent him from abiding by law as he was handed his first criminal conviction at the age of 13. He was jailed in 2019 after being caught in possession of a blade in public. He had committed a wealth of offences by this point, including theft, criminal damage, assault and breach of his ASBO order. So him and his older brother were believed to be part of a gang involved in a series of incidents in the north end of Birkenhead. His brother similarly received an ASBO just a month earlier, having been accused of being part of a gang that threw missiles at vehicles and hurled abuse at vulnerable people. Hodgin would serve time again in February 2021 after being caught holding onto drugs, a phone and a couple of weapons in his cell. The schoolboy had become involved in dealing Class A drugs while he was out on licence before the horror revenge attack left him lying in a pool of his own blood. The defence told the court that from a very young age, probably in his infancy, he'd been subjected to living in a violent and criminal environment, and a complete mistrust had developed with him of adults and people who may on the face of it be looking to help him. Everything has been disrupted by this life experience, which thankfully the vast majority of children don't have to experience. His education was completely and utterly disrupted through bad behaviour and through other issues which existed in his life. There's a glimmer of hope, which is a suggestion he wants to change. He seems determined to get a grip of his life and do his level best in the future to make sure he doesn't find himself in this position again. So guys, this is a story where a man who was one of the youngest ever to get an ASBO has been jailed after being stabbed 27 times, and then when police went to help him, they found drugs on him. It's a new story coming from Merseyside Ways. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.